If you don't make time for meals and for fueling yourself up with the right food, because you're too busy, because you're getting up late or you're working through your lunch, this can cause stress levels to really elevate. If we're missing meals, often our blood sugar levels can drop down lower. And this can put a real stress on the body. In fact, the body actually creates more cortisol, the stress hormone, if the blood sugar levels are low. And the body does that to try and lift it up because it's not healthy for us. And when blood sugar levels are low, people can often get tired, grumpy, hungry, irritable. So that's a good sign blood sugar levels are low. And people often crave sugar and those sweet foods if the blood sugar levels are too low. Now, if we're eating 3 meals a day and we're having protein with each of those meals and the right foods, the energy levels will be steady throughout the whole day, even into the evening. And you'll be in control of your appetite. There'll be no ups and downs in the blood sugar. In fact, stay with me, Sharpie. Okay, so, start of the day, most people's blood sugar levels are on the lower side down here. Okay? Wake up feeling really hungry, and so they have, well, if they have breakfast, if it starts with kind of cereal, sugary stuff, toast with honey and jam on or what have you, then takes your blood sugar level from the low to the high very quickly. But because what goes up must come down. And this is the 10 o'clock time for a lot of people. The blood sugar level's low and they are craving for food. And it could be anything sugary drinks, sugary snacks, coffee with sugar in, and they're feeling really low. Now beware, if someone's not had breakfast, then that's the start of the day. This could be down here at this point. Okay? Either way, they're both pretty low. So what happens is people have the sugary snack, the sugary drink, caffeine coffee with sugar in, and guess what happens? It goes straight back up through the roof again. They feel great for about an hour, but then they get the big crash again down here. Feeling tired, hungry, irritable, can't think straight, no concentration, clarity. And guess what happens? It's lunchtime here, because it's about kind of 12 o'clock. Oh gosh, I've got to eat again, I've got to get out. Bang. And what they're going to feel like? They're not going to feel like something healthy. They're going to feel like something that's got sugar in it, or carbs in it, that are sugary carbs that are going to spike up the blood sugar level quickly, because it needs to get up pretty quick if it's this low. And it takes it up past the midline and right back up again through the roof. 2-3 o'clock time, it's right back down here. Then they have the sugary snack, and then it comes to tea time, and they're starving again. They get a takeaway because it's quick and easy, and they're so hungry they can't wait to cook and for the time for it to cook. And then by the end of the day, they are absolutely shattered and out of the game, waking up in the morning, tired, difficult to get out of the bed, and then waiting for the next sugar or caffeine kick to start them in the day again. And that is a lot of people's days, and that's a huge problem when it comes to diabetes, and a huge problem when it comes to energy. Do you think people are going to be performing well when they're living life by the rough seas, up and down? They're going to be shattered. And eventually the body will burn out. We are looking for calmer seas. Yes, they're going to go up and go down a little bit, but all within a certain range of the middle blood sugar level line. Okay? So to do this, the key thing is to start your day by eating protein. Protein, or drinking protein. Protein in ancient Greek is proton. Proton means primary. Primary means first. Literally, protein is the first thing that our body should be having in a day. And the reason, actually, there's another good evidence of why this is, because if you look at our acid levels in our digestion, there's an acid called hydrochloric acid, and this is used to digest protein. Now, the time of day when the body has the most hydrochloric acid is first thing in the morning. That's when the body produces the most. Yet do what most people do? They don't either have breakfast or they throw in carbohydrates, cereals, breads. Exactly the opposite to what the body needs. It needs protein. If you think about protein breakfast, meat, fish, eggs. We look at many cultures around the world, including our very own in the UK. The culture is around having protein for breakfast. Meat, eggs, kippers, to start our day. Particularly when jobs were more active, we needed to eat those proteins to keep our energy levels stable and blood sugar levels stable. In Asia, they start the day with fish and meat, with cheeses and meats, etc. It's interesting how when it's gone more cereal based and more bread in the morning, or skipping breakfast because of getting out to work, isn't it interesting how obesity's risen during that time? Diabetes has risen during that time. Protein at the start of your day will start your day the right way, which means that your blood sugar levels aren't going to go dropping and shooting up and down. If you have a protein breakfast, follow it by a mid-morning snack of maybe a handful of nuts and a piece of fruit, and then at lunchtime you have again a piece of meat or fish with some salad or a kind of meat-based soup, for example. Then at mid-afternoon again, maybe a handful of a few other nuts and another different piece of fruit. In the evening you're having good, again, meat and vegetables, or fish and vegetables, or lentils or tofu, some vegetarian sources as well, beans with vegetables. Your blood sugar level is going to be in the zone. And one thing's for sure, your energy levels will be far better, your sugar cravings will disappear, and body weight, particularly around the waist, really, really drops to a healthier place. So, blood sugar, really key. When to eat? Yeah, that's where I was at. Consider this as well. Breakfast. Let's break down that word. Break the fast. Break fast. It's really important to get breakfast in. Kickstart your day. Forget the diet plans which are all about having just a shake in the morning, and then only have one meal in the middle of the day and then a shake in the evening. Your body needs to digest food. Yes, there's a place for supplements, but not instead of food, as well as to fill the gaps, etc. As well as food. So, break the fast. Consider this. If someone has an evening meal at, say, 8 o'clock, for example, and if they missed breakfast, they don't break the fast, and their lunch the next day is at 1 o'clock, how many hours is that without a meal? 24 minus 7 hours, 17 hours without a meal. Now, when your body finally gets some food, what do you think your body's going to want to do with it? It's going to hold on to it. Oh gosh, I'm a bit worried you may send me 17 hours without a meal. I'm going to store you as body fat, store you as energy, just in case you go 17 hours without me again. And so, it's my belief that when your body gets 3 meals a day at regular intervals, preferably doing some good healthy snacking in between, and the right portion control, your body trusts you. It trusts that within 2 or 3 hours it's going to get its next meal or snack. So it can use what you've just given it as energy, because it knows it's going to get some more in a short space of time. Now, it might take a bit of time to get your body to trust you again, but it's really, really important you get into the right habits. I'm just going to share with you one story, actually. This story was when I worked in the gym years and years ago. I think it was probably 16 years ago, and there was I was an instructor in the gym, and we always used to assess people when they first signed up for the gym. We used to do body fat measurements and weigh them and see where they're starting, do a fitness test as well. And there was somebody who came to the gym, joined up, wanted to reduce weight. I gave her a program after I did an assessment, and then people are just left to their own devices to then go and get results. And then what happens in most gyms is people don't actually get results because they don't get much guidance and support on how to do so. And it was exactly the same for this girl actually. I think she was kind of 18, 19. So what happened was about a year later, I got my booking sheet and she was on my bookings, and I saw her again. I was like, I did her assessment. I was the same trainer that assessed her, and I did all the measurements again, and she got some great results. She lost a load of weight, her body fat came down, and I said to her, what have you been doing? So she said, well, I've just joined up again. I haven't been to the gym for a year. I was like, oh, well, that's strange. And it shocked her actually, some of the results she'd got. And I said to her, so okay, if you haven't been going to the gym, excuse me, Sharpie. If you haven't been going to the gym, then what have you been doing? You must have gone on a diet or changed your nutrition. No, she says, still doing the same stuff. Still eating the same foods. Scratching my head. So have you taken up any sports or anything like that? You've been more active in sports? No, I've still played badminton once a week, same as before. So I'm thinking, okay, job. Must be the job. I said, have you changed jobs? She said, no. I haven't changed jobs. She says, I'm still delivering. Driving my van around, delivering. So this is really starting to bamboozle me. And I'm thinking, well, how come her weight's dropped off? What's happened? And so I asked her, I said, well, something's changed. What's changed? I'm so glad I asked that question. And she said, well, the only thing that's changed, she says, is I'm working through the night. So then I'm thinking, night shifts, great, that's going to mess people's systems up even more. But this is what she told me, which was really interesting. She lived at home with her parents. And she said, what I'm doing is I'm sleeping through the day, and I wake up, early evening, and I have a meal with my parents, a cooked meal. Then I have my sandwiches in my box in the van at my lunchtime, and then just before I go to bed, in our morning, she's just about to go to bed, she has breakfast. I think cereal or something, so not particularly good food choices. But that was an amazing bit of information for me. And I found it astounding how just switching the amount she had at the beginning of the day to what she had at the end of the day changed her body weight. So if you're looking to reduce your body weight, one of the best things you can do is have a big breakfast. And maybe a smaller evening meal on the portions. Or just eat less in the evening if need be. As long as you're having a meal. So hopefully that story was interesting for you. You know, we've all heard about, have breakfast like a king. The lunch like a prince and dinner like a pauper, I think it is, as a saying as it goes. And I just saw the real life kind of practicality of doing that. So yes, there we go. I think that's the end of when to eat. So I'm going to pause this now. I'm going to meet you on the next module, and the next module is going to be where to eat and when and what to eat as well. So I look forward to sharing that with you then. Take care.